Hey y'all, it's Ben, and I'm here to tell you about my newest business idea that's gonna be enhanced with ChatGPT 4. I'm using the paid version, and I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be great. So, I wanna show you how to edit images within ChatGPT, doing it in a fun way. So, first, I'm gonna instruct it to give me an image. I'm gonna do a circular logo in vector art based on my new business idea, and I hope y'all don't take it. I think it's pretty phenomenal. I want to do a new business idea to elevate fish food. I want to do farm to table fish food for gold fish. In my customer base, I'm already thinking about who my potential audience is going to make that money. My customer base are high earners who also are about fish. They're very passionate, and I want to use symbols that are also similar to what might be out there for natural foods, health, and wellness. So, I'm gonna send this to ChatGPT. It's gonna go behind the scenes. It's using DALL-E 3 at the moment. It's gonna make a new image for us. And if it's doing it right, it's gonna be something like a circular logo. Oh, look at that. Farm to table fish flakes. This is also surprising because it actually got every single word right. It usually doesn't do that. But let's see if we can make a few more images adjusted in there. Relatively new to the paid version of ChatGPT is a select feature. I'm going to select that. I'm going to take this down a little bit. And I think, I don't know, what if there was let's do a top hat. Let's do a top hat. I don't know. Please add a top hat. I need it on the fish. 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 I think this is a pretty useful feature within ChatGPT. It should be able to read the context and send it back. We'll see what it does. I'm still shocked I got every single word right. Usually it doesn't. You can kind of see in that E here, it's not the best. You could go back and try to edit that and have that filled out. But sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. Oh, look at that. There's a top hat on that fish. Look at that transition. That fish was kind of ugly looking, looking blankly at us. But now that is a classy fish and it is ready to eat classy food. Excellent. Okay, now one of the cool features within ChatGPT is the use of code interpreters. So it's going to make a virtual Python environment that you don't have to worry about trying to code. I'm going to exit out of this zoomed in version of the image and I'm going to go to the next step. So using Python, edit the image using the pillow package. So I'm telling it specifically what package to use within Python to add a 25 pixel thick gold border around the image. Bring that image back to me. You can see it's opening the right package. It's got pill, which is shortened from pillow. It's making this virtual environment. It's estimating what it's going to be for the border size and border color, gold, and it's going to return that image. Look at this. Downloaded immediately. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Don't you just want to buy my elevated fish flakes right now? Okay, we could stop there, but we're not done. We want to get customers. And the best way to do that is thank, thank. Let's elevate the image with more stuff. 5-point stars. Add 25 5-point stars that are 20 pixels. So we're getting an estimate of the size of the stars by specifying the pixels. And we're going to put them randomly throughout the image and make the stars random colors. Let's make them pop. Let's make it pop. Okay, it's porting in this new package random into the Python environment. So this is, as you can tell, this is kind of like a bit of a Adobe Photoshop going within Python and ChatGPT at the moment, and it's working pretty well. We're specifying our 5-point stars. We've got our image defined by a border. On a side note, do you think penguins experience ennui? I don't know. Sometimes I think about that. Oh, look at this. It's bringing back our image. Perfect. Oh no! This is also something that's interesting. Sometimes ChatGPT will even check itself when it's made the errors in Python incorrectly. It'll figure out that error and it'll interpret what's going on. Sometimes it'll tell you what's going on, sometimes it doesn't. You also don't have to have this display of code, but if I'm using this, I kind of want to see what's going on. And if you like the whole pipeline that's being built, you could add stars every single time that you have an image in your own Python. All right, sick. We got a new image with stars. Let's check it out. Oh, oh, beautiful. Look, look. Flash, flash, flash. Fish, flakes, star flakes. Perfect, beautiful. But we're not done. We've got more ideas of things to do, and we want to keep elevating. Let's try something new. Thank you. Please add 4 squares randomly into the image. Here I'm going to specify the square dimension, the size that I want. So I want chunks of 200 by 200 pixels. The images that are usually given to us by ChatGPT are a little bit over 1,000. So this is about 1/5 of the size. And we're going to blue shift each of these squares. Return that image to me. So you can see some of the functionalities that the pillow can do. And also, I don't have to figure out what the code is. I'm going to have ChatGPT do that, and I could still copy the code. Or I could just have it run in the background as I'm doing different tasks. Maybe as I'm looking at my squirrels outside and wondering if they're plotting revenge against one another. Maybe they're jealous of like all the walnuts that one stored and the other one was left out, and the second squirrel didn't even ask to share and then was mad at the first squirrel for never communicating. But how you expect squirrel 2 to like know what you need if you're not gonna communicate with squirrel 1? And so our image is done with a blue shifted square. So let's check that out. Let's open that. Oh, look at that. Square, square, square. There's probably another square in there. But sometimes ChatGPT doesn't. Oh, there it is. Ooh, hidden little square there. So it's just like another extra touch. If we wanted, we could blue shift this whole image. But I don't want to. You could. I don't want to. I want to do something else. Sometimes when I'm looking at business plans, I think, ugh, customer segmentation, much too large. I'm going to narrow in a little bit more. So I want a new circle that's centered in the middle image of 400 pixels. And I want to apply a psychedelic effect in there because I'm going to go for a new customer base. I want people who are super passionate about their fish and also into psychedelic art. And here, this is one of the beneficials of working with ChatGPT, because then you can use patterns, blurs, or checkers, or anything else that it can interpret as artistic and then throw it in there. So I'm going to send it out there. And I'm hoping it's going to come up with something new that I haven't thought of. As the code is coming back, you can change it, or, well, no, you can't actually change it until it's done, but you can read what it's doing, and then you can think, maybe that's what I do for a psychedelic pattern. Here it's defining the psychedelic pattern. We're going to get some noise in there so we can get blurs, what happens in Photoshop. We can get checkered patterns. We can merge images. So a lot of what you might think that are features of the standard Photoshop, you can actually do in here through natural language, which is also pretty nifty. So as it's applying more stuff, we got our circle radius here. It's nodes. It's going to be in the center based on the calculation of the image width and height. Perfect. Oh, it's already done without failure. Thank you, ChatGPT. And I'm only paying $20 a month for this. What? That's better than 2 penguins arguing about a bill. All right, look, I'm downloading an image. I'm downloading an image. I'm downloading an image. And there it is. The image is downloaded. And wow, it tried something completely different. Not necessarily an improvement. So we're going to go back. We're going to say, please go back to the previous image and just try adding a new random color filter to the 400 pixel circle. Now, let's try it again. As you'll notice, prompting isn't always perfect, but you can just through some communication, just like if you're trying to paint done with a client or a stakeholder, you can work with ChatGPT to create something interesting. Usually, when I've tried this out, it doesn't just give you a random pink circle. It's much more useful. But you can also just keep typing away and see what you want. And in fact, you could even think while you're waiting, do pigeons fall in love? Have you thought about it? Do pigeons fall in love? I don't know. I think they tend to pair up monogamously throughout their lifetime. But I think, There's a little extra cheating that goes in there, diversify the gene pool visions. So you can think about that when ChatGPT is running. You can also think about any species if they possibly fall in love to octopi. I don't know. I don't know. But sometimes you just wait, and then the image is sent back to you. So I'm going to download that image. Let's pull it up. It is not very good. Again, okay. So let's go back to what ChatGPT was naming this image before it was making bad things. Okay, we had, and this is good to know, circular logo psychedelic circle. That's not the one we wanted because that was a pink blob. We want this circular logo blue shifted squares. Return to the image called, let's edit that one. And then maybe it's not going to work out where we're going to get the psychedelic effect, but we can add some other things. We can add 2 rows of sans serif text at 70 point size and bold. And then we're going to try to shift 20% from the image height, so this is going 20% down by pixels, to add the text eat my, and I'm not going to put but there, but I could. I'm going to add a second row with that's centered by width, and then add to the text of 95% of the image on the bottom. And then we're going to have this image return to me. And it's going to analyze. Let's see if it's doing the right thing. Blue shifted image path. Okay, uploading the fonts. Good. It knows the image path. Let's fingers crossed that it's defining this blue shifted image path as the one above and not the most recent one. But this is why the trial and error starts. You could see that we were staring at images. You could also, via this attachment thing, upload the previous image that was working pretty well, and then take the Python code again in the package and interaction and start from there if ChatGPT is too confused. And perhaps we even will. Let's see what it can do with this image first after it does its corrections. This is also another really good time to think if mollusks ever experience schadenfreude, if they watch one mollusk being nibbled on by a crab and they think, that's at least not me, but Henry, that mollusk, was really mean to me last week when I tried to get that filtered shrimp from the water column, and Henry just came in, landed itself right in front of me, and then took my little shrimp, and I was so hungry. And when you're done, you can download the image. Oh, look at that. Eat my, and this is in white, but fish flakes is down there. That's on me. I didn't specify. So, let's edit. Let's go back and copy this prompt one more time. And this is what happens in real life. When you see all the polished videos online, wrong. They tried a bunch of different stuff in bold, black text. Great, but we have that same path. And because GPT also tried out this code that didn't work before, it should be faster. It should have learned from its mistakes, but we'll find out again. It looks like it is doing the right image path to upload the beautiful, beautiful... oh, that's right, I downloaded it. That also happens. I mean, look at this. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. That's something my parents would be proud of. All right, the image is done. Eat my fish food. Perfect. And this is where, I was specifying 20 from the top. You could maybe try it out with 10. And then if you're able to consistently say, generate a new logo, make it always circular by this certain size with DALL-E, then you can keep putting eat my fish food, whatever phrase you want to put in there every single time. Now, this is looking pretty golden, but I want to put the final touches on there. And ChatGPT has been such a good partner. Thanks, babe. Lastly, shift every other pixel by a sine wave with a maximum minimum height of 10 for the sine wave. So I'm just going to have some weird circles, or sorry, not circles, waves going on. So this is where if you start to think about the whole pixel grid of an image as just an XY plane, like you would just do coordinates, you can do all the weird stuff that you learned in geometry that didn't actually serve you back then, now to do weird stuff. And the weird stuff, I think, is the whole point of life, right? You do the weird stuff to push yourself in new limits, and you figure out, am I as petty as those squirrels that didn't share those walnuts or those mollusks? I hope not. I hope by this whole experience at the end of it, you are learning that you should be a good, decent person, but you can also edit images in ChatGPT in very odd, strange ways. But it helps your business. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm waving with it already. It makes me feel like I'm underwater. It makes me feel like I'm ready to eat high class fish flakes. So there's a demonstration of what you can do. That can be downloaded as a PNG, as I've already done, and you can send this out to all of your friends and family and say, wow, look at this image. Are you ready to invest? Are you ready to change your own life via my life and give me money and you get a small fraction of it? You could be that person. With that, have a good night, or an afternoon, or a morning, wherever you are. Take care.